Double Olympic gold medalist and three-time world champion over the 800-meter, Caster Semenya has had a stellar career as an athlete, but this glory has come with great trials and tribulations. And so today she joins us to reflect on a career worth celebrating and to recount the ups and downs, the highs and lows of being a professional athlete. I was just thinking, actually, before I chatted to you, you come from such humble beginnings and all you wanted to do was to perform your sport of choice in front of the world on the global stage. Do you allow yourself to reflect on those early days? Every once in a while, do you go back and think about where it all started, Caster?
Yeah, good morning to everyone. Yeah, it's always the case. I think as an individual, you have to, go back and relive, those memories, especially, the humble beginnings.
Yeah.
It plays a vital role because that's who you are. That's what makes you. I think for me, my childhood, I think, played a very vital role into being the person I am today. And I cherish, those moments, and I appreciate that a lot. And
that's good. That's good that you still give yourself that opportunity to do so. Because I think, we were laughing about it just now, saying, what are you busy with? And you, like you said, there's so many things that you are busy with. It's important to just stop and reflect about, where you've come from and the people that have been there with you. But let's chat about that transition. You said it hasn't been easy, transitioning into a developmental coaching mentor role. Tell us about that.
No, I mean, it's hard coming from being a professional athlete and then you being stopped, for a moment from doing what you love. And then you have to, being forcefully, transition into, other roles, especially into leadership. But I think it has been a blessing to be, amongst, these young athletes that we work under. Obviously, development program has been the most important, part. And obviously, getting more into, partnerships, I think it plays a vital role where now I partnered, with OMO, where we talk about, unbeatable, staying, which resonate, with my life, where we talk about, unbeatable, spirit, where we talk about setbacks, how to, alleviate or prevent, such, to stop you from being, the person you are. But it's more of talking about real life, talking about, uplifting a soul, making sure that we still stick into sports, make sure that we give back, to the community, going back where you just asked me about, the humble beginnings. That's where my heart lies on, where I make sure that, with the development program that I run, I make sure that, I save a life. I make sure, young, kids, they have a reason to live. We create, that access, into sports. We make sure that they're into school. We make sure that they have transportation, into competitions. We make sure that, they're affiliated. They have meals, but mental role, play, a vital, very, very important, especially, when it comes to mental health. We make sure that, they are well taken off,
Speaking about that, I think, I don't know how you actually managed what you've gone through, your legal battles, like you just mentioned now, being forced to abruptly stop participating in the sport that you love.
Yeah.
How did you handle that mentally? How did your team comprise of? And what did you constantly do on a daily basis to get out of that dark place?
I mean, in a situation like that, I think it comes with you. It lies, with you as an individual. What is it that you want in life? Are you happy with the person you are? Because, of course, there will always be talks, out there. There is no such thing as bad publicity. You use it as a positivity, as much as I mentioned about the unbeatable spirit. I mean, for me as an individual, it comes with self-love. But we always say, charity begins at home. It starts where, where your family is, your loved ones, the society. I think when you treat it with love and respect, you start understanding, what identity is. I think with me, it starts there where I had to learn how to be myself, how to appreciate myself, how to celebrate myself. I think then mental, part of it comes with, silencing, yourself from, adversity and making sure that, who am I? What is it that I want in life? Am I happy with the person I am? You understand? So I think that plays a vital role to each and every individual by starting, with self-love. I think it's very simple, and I always say authenticity plays a vital role, where I say authenticity is the best outfit that you can rock. Be the best that you can be, and life becomes simple. And if you understand yourself, how you're feeling within, I think it starts there. besides, being outside, trying to prove to, anyone, but it lies with you if you understand yourself. If you have the best relationship with yourself, love becomes, life is beautiful. You have love and support and all those things,
I mean, that's amazing, and even your legal challenges have made it all the way to the European Court of Human Rights, and you're dealing with something that is such an important issue in sports today, which is athlete safeguarding. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, of course, coming from a country that, we have passed, apartheid, human rights, plays a vital role. We have to liberate ourselves, from that. But I think it comes with us in terms of leadership. What is it that we want to see, what leaders needs to do. I think for me, that's what, plays a vital role. My issues have been, mishandled, unfairly, treated, I've been discriminated, dehumanized. But I think with a court case like this, we going, to Europe and making sure that, things are being taken off. Talking about safeguarding, we have to remind, that, leaders that athletes, lives needs to be, taken in consideration. We have to respect, their rights. Human rights, are very important. And also we have to remind also the athletes to know, their rights, because sometimes this autonomy, plays a very unfair, role into athletes where, you are assigned into, contracts that, automatically says you will do as we say, you understand? I think those are the things that with a court case like this, we unfold, all those things to make, leaders understand that protect athletes as much as safeguarding, is being taken in consideration. All organizations needs to abide by that, to say we're here for athletes, we're here to protect athletes. We're not here to discriminate or segregate. And it takes us back to where some of us, in the country have that history. And we're going to fight that.
In your coaching and your development. And I'm sure it's making you a completely different coach. But, before the seconds tick away and the time runs away with us, for lack of a better phrase, who are some of the exciting athletes? I mean, we've been seeing what Akani and all of them are doing on the world stage, but I know that you are working with other young athletes that we have to watch out for, the 3 Karabos, for example.
I mean, with the women empowerment that we are running now, we have a lot of Karabos, We have Glen Rose Kaba is the anchor, of our leading women. And obviously we have Karabo More, we have Karabo Motsueneng, Karabo Mailula. They are doing quite well, in the roads. They are tearing the streets. But as well as we don't discriminate men. Obviously we have men, under the group where we have, Abraham Kubiana, from Limpopo, and then we have Ranti Dihali, we have Joel Semenya, one of my family, members. I mean, we're doing quite well, but then with that picture that, just arises now, where we deal, with kids, we make sure that we create that access for them. We have about, 4 branches, Limpopo, we have 3, and then Gauteng, we have 3, which is CGA, Val, and Gauteng North.
Jeez,
we cater over,
we
cater over 200, athletes, and with partnerships like this with OMO, it makes it possible for us to, blossom.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming to join us. And it's been so long that we've chatted to you, and you spoke about your partnerships earlier already. Bringing about the ideas around removing the stains off your life and how you approach that. So we're wishing you all the best of luck in your development, in your coaching. But she's also trying to make sure that she gets to a 10K time of under 35 minutes. So on national television, you've said it, Caster. But thank you so much for chatting to us. And we have been chatting to double Olympic gold medalist Caster Semenya, speaking about her career, reflecting upon the early days, as well as some of the partnerships that she has in place to make sure she can continue fighting for things like athlete safeguarding and athletes' rights.